So with our extramural program, we start from grade 2. So the grade 2s and 3s are in one class. And we even do our basic Microsoft literacy skills. So in this scenario, making use of the arc tool, you say, well, we would like this ball to go through the hoop. How can we do it? They draw this arc. And then we say, well, how would this look in code? So let's make an animation even in something like PowerPoint. So you've got your ball, the ball can go through. This would be called your front end. You say, well, what code is behind that? What's the back end like? And we can take them through Scratch and say, well, with a glide, this ball can now go through this hoop, and even introduce the children to the X and the Y coordinates, even at the early stage. So there the ball goes through. This example is for my grade 4s and 5s. So this bug, you control it with the arrow keys. You must get to this apple without the cat touching you. Obviously, it's game over. And you can see there's certain concepts. You work with your forever loops and you introduce the real coding vocabulary. This was one of the classic games, Circus Charlie. And here you can say, you've got this game you want to develop, take it to your developers. Can they animate it, and what code would be behind it? So you've got your moving background, you've got your Charlie, and even in Scratch, you can say, well, what will this moving background look like? So here's the two slides that will make this possible. You've got your background 1 and your background 2. And then this horse, Charlie, if you press the spacebar key, then Charlie will jump. And then obviously when you press the green flag, you've got your moving background. Again, you can add your variables. You can have a ball coming in. You must be able to jump over the ball. If you touch the ball, it's game over. You lose a life. Moving on to the grade 6 and 7s. For the grade 6 and 7s, we also introduce them to Scratch, but we move on to more advanced Python to Scratch. So now they must be able to have the visual text in front of them, and just to see how these blocks operate. These blocks are all pre-coded, but now they must be able to type out the script. For example, it just read like any flow diagram from top to bottom. You say, well, I want to turn 90 degrees. I want to move 100 steps. So from this point over here, it moves up to here, 100 steps. It turns 90 degrees and it moves 50. It lifts up the pen, change the pen color. And even with your Python and Scratch, it will do the same thing as you follow through this code. And the awe or the amazement of the children the moment they click this and realize, wow, I'm a coder. Look at what I've done. And you introduce them to mathematical concepts. In this example, you say, well, instead of just say move 100 to 90, move 100 to 90 4 times just underneath each other, you can also say, well, what would this code look like if we've got a repeat option? How many times will it repeat? What about an octagon? What about a shape? Do we get a shape with 20 sides? Do we get a shape with 50 sides? And now the children can start to calculate and work it out and see what these certain shapes look like. And then we also visit all the classic games. For example, Frogger, Space Invaders, Pong, Circus Charlie, Pac-Man. And here's an example then of a more of Space Invaders. So it's more enhanced for the children. So this is more for my grade 6, 7s, and even with the 8 and 9s. So same thing, you've got your score, you've got your variables, movement, shooting, and you can also have different backgrounds where you can switch to a game over screen or a well done screen.